So delegates are, using delegates are special type of classes. Using a delegate object, we can refer a method. So dynamically, we can be referring methods in the C++ like a pointer to function. Here, delegates can work. Delegates can be a single cast delegate or they can be multi-cast delegate. Now let us work with the delegates. Let us try to write a program using delegates in this. Now suppose I have to find out some sum. Okay, for the sake of that, what I do, I define here a delegate. I write like this, delegate followed by here int I write, then I am going to write here, this is some delegate. I put like this. It is here some delegate. Like this I can write it. And I pass here certain data. The data can be here parametric array data I can put here. So I put this way params followed by here int, then here data I put like this. So this is going to be a delegate I create. This is called as a delegate class. I have defined a delegate class. Now with the help of this delegate class, I can be referring here some method, a method which is having same signature can be called here. Whatever methods have same signature. Here signature for some delegate is what? It's going to return integer data and we need to pass a parametric array to the say method. Now let me write here a method like static followed by int. Then here I define this as sum, but inside this I pass params. Okay, this is int followed by here nums. Like this I can define. Now inside this I should write the code. I can write code inside this like here. It's going to be returning integer data. Static int sum, params int nums. Here inside this we write int sum is here 0. Now using for each loop, now we can iterate over it. We use here a for each loop, then using for each loop we can be iterating over the data. Int s in, I write like here nums. Okay, one by one I retrieve here sum equal to sum plus n. Okay, like this I am going to be retrieving data from the so I can retrieve data here from the array one by one, then I am going to add to the sum here. So return followed by here sum I write. This is nothing but a method which is having same signature like the sum delegate. So it is sum delegate method. So similar to that method I have written here a method. Now with the help of the sum delegate I can invoke this. Now here write this code. So first of all let me create here a sum delegate. Sum delegate object I create. I put like this sum delegate followed by s1, this equal to here new sum delegate I put followed by what method I am going to invoke that I need to specify. So this is here some method I am going to call. Like this I can invoke this. I created here a sum delegate which is going to access the sum method here which I defined. Now next step in this is, so here next step, instead of writing just sum like this you can put even it as, okay, just sum only we put, fine. Now here I want to invoke that now, s1 dot invoke. Here write int sum equal to, we write this one as s1 dot invoke. We can invoke it. Invoke, then here inside this we can pass the data 12, then 34, 67, 89, like this I can pass it. Now here with console dot write line I can write console dot write line, then here the result is 0 I put just followed by I am going to put sum. Like this I'm going to invoke a method indirectly using the delegates. Then console dot here read key I write. So using read key, it's going to wait for keyboard input. As long as I don't press any keyboard key, the program still with the console window only, but when I press the enter any key, I come back into IDE. So now when I execute it, it should give 202 as a result. Reason, when we add them, so here 89 plus 67 is going to be 156, then 34 is 156 plus 34 is 190, and plus 12 is here, we get as 202, result is 202 we are getting. So this is a single cast delegate. We are adding only one method with the sum delegate. We are adding just one method only with this. So this is called as here a single cast delegate. We created here a single cast delegate just. That means it's actually pointing to one method only, or it's referring one method. Okay, so this delegate can actually refer multiple methods also. It can refer multiple methods at the same time, but what should happen in that is, in the case of a delegate which is referring multiple methods, it should be returning a void data, and all the methods, they must have same kind of parameters. In such cases, it's possible. Now for that, what I do, I can define here another method. Let me define here one more delegate and one more method. The delegate is here, delegate, then here I put void, then followed by perform arithmetic operations. I write like this. Perform arithmetic operations. So here I need to pass first of all parameters. Int some x, int y, followed by here I can go with the, I can actually have the data now. So int y and int x and int y I have given here. So it should be here returning the result. Int result. I put like this. Int result I am writing here, and this is exactly by reference I do it. It's going to be by reference like this I have defined it. This way I am going to be defining it. So what is happening with this? Okay. Now int result, if I give, nothing will be happening there. So just we need to pass this much. Otherwise we can use some string kind of reference, but we can't do anything like that. So here it's taking actually x and y as parameters. It's going to be returning here a void. Now let us write like this: static followed by int, first of all addition. So it is not int, it's void followed by, it is here addition. I need to pass here the variables int a, then int b, like this. Now inside this I am going to print here itself. I print it as console.writeLine, console.writeLine, right, the sum of 0 and 1 is, here we put this as 2, then we specify here, this is b here, int a comma b, I need to write it as a, then b, and inside this a plus b we put. So this way I can invoke the addition. I am going to invoke the addition here. After this a comma is needed. Like this it's going to invoke. Now come to this point, then here try to go with the subtraction. In the place of addition, now it is subtraction. So here in the place of sum, the difference I write. So here this is a minus b we put. In the same manner we can take the other one, the product. Okay, we can take here the product of is here A multiplied with B. So we can perform with these three things. I have defined here three methods. I can invoke all these. So come to this method here. The perform arithmetic operations is a new delegate here. Let me make here a new delegate inside this. So after this, go with this. Then here, write it as del AO. Like this I put. So this is equal to new followed by perform arithmetic operations. Then here I should specify at least one method first. I go with the addition. I'll put it as here addition. Then here I can be adding them now more methods. Del AO equal to, I can write here or else you can write plus equal to the next method name also you can put here. That method name is subtraction. You can take and you can put. The new method you are going to add in this now. It is subtraction. Similarly, we take it. Okay, addition I have taken. Then del subtraction we have here method. Okay. Just a minute. Okay. Equal to del AO plus followed by here subtraction I put it. Both are integers only. The subtraction also it is integer and here also it is integer. Everywhere it is integer. It's void only. Okay. So static void we have taken all of them as okay. This is product. Fine. Because of that we have this problem. Now it disappeared. Similarly, once again we can take it. Now after this I make it as product. So after this if I run now here, what happens? See, console dot write line. Then here let me write this way. When the delegate is invoked, with the values something like here 30 comma 20, what result we get? See in this. Here write del AO, then dot invoke. We can invoke this here and pass the data there. 30 comma 20, let us pass in this. Now it should give us all the three things. First one is what? It has to give us the 50, then it should give 10 and it should give 600 the result. So it's going to invoke actually all the three methods in this. This is called as here multicast delegate. You can find there. With the first one you are getting 2 not 2. Then after that when the delegate is invoked with the value 30 and 20, the sum of 30 and 20 is 50. The difference of 30 and 20 is 10 here. The product of 30 and 20 is 600 like this is showing. So this is called as multicast delegate. So this is called as here multicast delegate. Like this you can declare the delegates and you can invoke them. Okay, they need not be always the static methods. Even you can create an object. The object methods also you can use here. You can create an object. Objects methods also you can use. So basically this is what delegate. So here we added the methods when needed. Now let me remove some of the methods from that. Once I finish that, I put like this del AO here equal to del AO minus, then followed by I want to read here delete addition. Now addition part I can remove from this. I'm going to remove addition from this. Then after that, okay, del AO equal to, we write it as del AO, then minus it is addition. Like this we do. Then once again we invoke it. So this time what happens, see. So you cannot get this time. Here write console dot write line, put here after removing the addition method. So once you remove addition method, what happens, see in this now. When we remove addition method, what happens in this? Let us check. So first what is happening? The sum of 30 and 20 is 50. The difference is 10 here. The product of 30 and 20 is 600. Then after that we remove the method. Now the difference of 30 and 20 is 10. The product of 30 and 20 is 600. Like this it is saying. So dynamically what we can do here, we can add the methods or we can remove methods. So this way the delegates, they can work. So first one is a single cost delegate and second one is a multi-cost delegate. These are nothing but actually, these are something like pointers to function in the C and in the C++. Here with the help of delegate, you can be executing a method and there are certain rules you need to follow. In the case of multi-cost delegates, all the methods which are involving in that, which are associated with the delegate must be returning no data. It should be void. So all the methods, they should have same kind of signature here, like int a int b, here also int a int b, even here also it is int a int b. So in such cases the delegates, they can be working. So in event, in manipulating events, we use very much the delegates. So events like mouse event, keyboard event, so you have same kind of signature. For example, mouse down you take, mouse up you take, similarly key press you take. In all the cases you have similar type of actually arguments. So they are managed with help of the delegates. So in making the events, delegates are actually very, very useful. So that is a little bit advanced concept, we do it later. So this is exactly what delegates. So in simple terms, the first one is what exactly? A simple delegate, and second one is actually multi-cost delegate. A delegate can be single cost or it can be multi-cost. So in the case of multi-cost delegate, you can attach more and more methods, and when you want to remove, you can remove. But you need to be careful regarding the methods which are associating with delegate. So all the methods must be returning void data. At the same time, all the methods should have the same type of arguments. So that way, multi-cost delegate is going to be working fine. Because if you look at, if you put here some kind of return data here, if you put int, okay, so the first method may be returning some, second method may be returning the difference, third method may be returning the product. Which data has to be returned there? Since it is difficult, so you can make that as void. That's the reason multi-cost delegates, they are going to be returning void data, and at the same time, whatever arguments you pass to that delegate, should have same arguments even with the methods. Otherwise, they don't work. So this is basically the delegates. In fact, these are very simple things. In events, mostly we use this. So whenever you want to manipulate events, in such cases, we can use the delegates. Okay. Our next topic is actually collections. So collections are nothing but predefined, objects for us, predefined classes. With the help of that, collectively you can work on the objects. So collections basically hold the objects. So these are part of actually system.collections namespace. In the system.collections namespace, we have the collections. So basically we are going to work with 4 different types of elements as far as collections is concerned. One is here array list, second one is here list, and third one is here say hash table. We have hash table, okay. Then similarly we have a dictionary. So these are going to be different collections we are going to use. Array list can hold any type of data. Array list is similar to array only, but the size of the array list can grow dynamically, can shrink dynamically. So this can be treated as a dynamic array, just like JavaScript array. So in the case of JavaScript arrays, you can add any type of data. In the same way, to the array list, you can add any type of data. It is not having any type safety. Whatever data you would like to add to the array list, you can add. Simply you can be adding to the array list. So in the case of array list, what happens? Whatever type of data you would like to add the array list, you can add it. In the case of list, what happens is it is having time safety. It's nothing but implementation of array list, but here what happens is you can have type safety in this. One particular type of data only you can add to the list. So as far as list is concerned, you need to add similar type of data in the case of list. Whenever you take any list, you need to add the similar type of data. As far as array list or list are concerned, you need to traverse from top to bottom. Using indices, you can be accessing the array list or list. Okay, so you need to go from top to bottom whenever you are searching elements. So therefore, array list and list are similar. Array list can accept any type of data, whereas list does not do like that. List can accept only specific type of data. So both array list and list are basically come under list here. So array list can accept any type of data. Whatever type of data you want to put into the array list, you can put. You don't have type safety. Okay, and here these are true, truly they are dynamic. Dynamic in the sense, whenever you want to add elements, you can add. Whenever you want to remove, you can remove. So size can be growing dynamically, size can be shrinking dynamically. So this is basically dynamic. Array list is going to be dynamic array. Similarly, list is also dynamic array. Normally arrays are not dynamic. Once you allocate certain size, you cannot change the size of the array. But here you can change. Now as far as hash table is concerned, hash table is also similar to array list. So this also can grow dynamically and this also can be shrinking dynamically. But with one difference. In the case of hash table, you need to save, you can collect data using key value pairs. So every element have a key and every key is going to be having a value. Key should not be duplicated. The values can be duplicated, but key should not be duplicated. Based on the key, you are going to be collecting data. So you are going to save data in the form of key value pairs in the hash table. So in the hash table, we save data in the form of key value pairs. So you have a key must be unique always. Suppose you have 10 elements, 10 keys must be different. Based on the key, you can identify elements, you can identify data. So accessing data from hash table is going to be quite fast because using hashing technique here, we are going to be accessing elements. So every element should have a key. The key should be having associated data. Like key value pairs, we can save data in the hash table. Similarly, when we talk about dictionary is a version of hash table, but in the case of dictionary, you need to have a typed data. In the hash table, whatever type of data you want to put, you can put. Just like the array list, whatever type of data you want to put, you can put. But in the dictionary, before you put any data, you need to properly define with what type of data you are going to make key and what is the type of value. So value is going to be what type of data. Like that you need to define with the dictionary. So dictionary is type safe, hash table is not type safe. List is type safe and array list is not type safe. So like this, we have these 4 different types of constructs. With the help of that, you can be collecting data and you can perform together on them certain operations. Okay, array list, hash table and dictionary. So array list and list are ideal whenever you want to make some data and when you are collecting data dynamically, if its size is growing. So in such cases, you can use it, array list and list. Hash table, to retrieve data very fast from the given collection using key value pairs. In such cases, you can use. So these are predefined collections. With the help of that, you can improve the productivity of your, within less time, you can be doing more and more because these are really quite handy tools when you develop application. So therefore, array list, hash table and dictionary are going to be some of the collections. Apart from this, you have stack and you have many other things also, but these are the most important ones we use very much in our application development. Array list we use, hash table we use, even dictionary also we use. Now let us work with the array list. But this time we are going to develop a Windows application. Instead of developing actually console applications, this time we develop a Windows application. Now let me go with this. Then here a new project. Okay, Windows Forms application I develop here. So Windows example for collections. Windows example for collections, this I make. A form is appearing for us now. Okay, a GUI application, this is graphical user interface application. It is nothing but form. So for this form, I can set here some caption. By going into properties, I can change the caption of the form. So you have a text property. With the help of that, you can change the caption for this. Collections. We put just it as collections here. It is appearing for us collections. This is what minimize button, this is resize button, and this is close button. Using them dynamically, you can be resizing and you can be minimizing it. Similarly, you can close the application also. So this is going to be here collections. Now, when you look at code, here you have a program.cs. In the program.cs, automatically this form object is getting created. We have here form1.cs. Form1.cs is shown actually using application.run new form1. So the form1 is going to be appearing for us. Through the main method only, we are invoking again this. Now this is a GUI. On top of this GUI, you can actually make many things. You can use here toolbox. With the help of toolbox, you can put actually different types of controls on the screen. So these are different controls. You can put those controls on the screen. Now let us take here first of all a label. So we take a label and we try to show some drop down list in that, or else we take a list box. Now here okay, let me take a label and put a label here. In the label, the caption is collections demo. We say it as a collections demo. Like this we put it. Now just below this, what type of data I am going to pick, I need to have here. So therefore I take a group box. I put here a group box. I can put here elements together in the group box. So in the group box, I can be putting elements together. Instead of saying group box here, this one, array list. I put it as here, array list. Like this, I am going to do some array list based operations in this. Now here, go to toolbox again. Then I use here radio button. I can use 3 radio buttons here. So using radio buttons, I can choose type of data. Radio button 1, here it is string. Put like string data. So by default, see, in the case of radio buttons, we should have here some group. So it should be belonging to, all of they should belong to same group. So we need to go with a group in this. Checked equal to, I can make true. By default, this is a string. Fine. Now here, you should have some group name for them. Application settings, checked is true here. Data, okay, we kept like this. So name is radio button 1. They should belong to some kind of group in this. So when they belong to group, in such cases, fine. So no grouping is required here. String data we have taken. Take this and try to put here one more radio button. So instead of saying this time string data, we can make this as here. Go to properties and say this instead of saying string data, here it is, name is radio button 2, text data, it is date time. date and time we say. Okay, this should not be checked here. This should not be checked. So this should be set to false. All of them must not be checked. So we make this as here false. Okay, when we run here, what happens? Let us see first. When I run the application, only one must be true. Okay, only one is becoming here true. Both are not true in this. Only one is going to be true in this. Now fine. The other one is here date time we had. Then go with this. Try to have here some sort of number. This is going to be number now. It is here number. You put like this. So next step is once again we paste here. This time true or false value. This is here true or false. Like this we need to take here. So these different types of data we take and we try to add to the array list. So array list is going to contain here some list box for us. We have here a list box. I take and put in this area. I'm going to put here list box. To the list box I am going to be adding the data. Okay, so for adding data, now I should use here some sort of text box. I go with the text box here. Okay, this is now a text box I use. Somewhere at the bottom I have a text box. Take the text box and put here the text box. Followed by here I use a button. Using button I am going to add it. So for this the caption is add. Here add data to array list. We make like this. Add data to array list. When we click on this, it should be getting added to the list box. So let us try to take. If we check here string, it should be string data. If we check this, it should be date and time. If it is checked here, it should be number. If we check it, it should be true or false. Like that, data must be taken. Now here, instead of having very big names like here name property we can go with small names. We can go with small names like RB we can take just. It is here RB1. In the same way, this should be RB2. Instead of having this big name, we can put it as RB2. And this is here RB3. We put. And the last one is RB4. So this is RB4. We put like this. Now this is what exactly list box. It's list box. Like this you have. Now when we click on this, depending on this value, we need to take it. Okay, now here add data to array list. We are going to take this here. Depending on this now we need to do. So use the if condition. If here, what we do? If condition we use RB1 then dot checked. You have a property called checked. If checked equal to true, so in such cases, if checked equal to true, we need to here okay. If checked equal to true, we can perform this operation here. So this is now int some a equal to int a, sorry, not int, string str equal to, we take data from the text box. So we write here text box 1 then dot text. Like this we take it. Okay, that too, if text box is not empty, we write here, if we write like text box 1 then dot text, again we trim here dot trim, then followed by dot length. Okay, this is going to be length here, dot length. If it is greater than 0, in such cases we write that way. So when it's greater than 0, in such cases we are going to do that. So here copy and put somewhere on the top. Here only we put it local. We can put it So here this is some empty string we assign like this, just str equal to, we are going to assign this way. So the text we are going to be taking, even here also we need to trim it. So with the help of trim, leading as well as trailing spaces, they can be removed. Similarly, if it is, now here see, and after this we should be adding, this we have to add to the drop down list, the list we need to add in this. It is here list box 1 dot add. So it is here items, then dot add, followed by, we can take the string there, str we can take and item can be added. Okay, but this is exactly what a list box we have taken. We don't want to have a list box in this, we have to go with the array list. We require here some array list. So on the top, let us declare array list. Array list, okay, object list, this equal to here new array list. We make like this. We can make in this way the array list. But here, since I haven't put collections, it does not be available. Use here using system dot collections. We can go with the collections here. System dot collections we set like this. Now array list is working properly. Now here in this we can add the data. Instead of adding here, we should go with the array list in this. Here write this is object list dot items dot add, just we can take here add followed by here str. Like this we do it. So it's going to be adding now with the object list. To the object list we are going to add. Now second thing is what here we have a date time. Second one is date time. So from date time we need to do this rb2 dot checked equal to true. In such cases we use here date time dt. I put like this. Now here I should write like this, dt equal to what I write, datetime dot format. So datetime dot parse, here parse we take, then from this we should take actually same thing. So we need to trim and we need to assign the same thing here. So this time I am going to be adding this time I can add it again. So even here also when length is greater than 0, in such cases we should add, otherwise we should not add. Now let us put here, this is once again we take the object list, then dot add followed by dt, date time I am adding here. In the same way when it is third one, it can be number. So number I am going to take everything as a double value. So here everything I am going to treat as double. This is rb3 dot checked equal to true. This time it's going to be double data. Double, then this is here d, put like this. So here this time d equal to, we write this one as double dot parse. In the place of date time we put just double. Okay, small d I put here, double dot parse, we do like this, then here it is d, we can add in that way. So double value we are adding there. Similarly in the case of actually the rb4, when it is rb4, here it is bool, then this is b, we put it as here b just. So here we write b equal to boolean dot parse it is, or else we write bool dot parse. So like boolean value we are going to convert and we are adding the b here. So like this we created the array list. We are creating array list like this. Now on the user interface we need to see how many elements are in the array list. We have to check actually how many elements are in the array list. For that purpose, now go with the, here I use a label. To the label I can be binding here. So this is, it's going to show how many or in this. This is nothing but here label 2. To the label 2 I should be adding. Now come to this again, add data to array list, and in this I should write it. Okay, and all these I should write in the try catch block. I go with the try, followed by here at the end I come to this point here, then it is like this, catch exception ex. Okay, so here we show this as message box. Here you can use, you have message boxes, message box, then dot show. You have here show, with the help of that you can show the message in this. Ex dot message you can put here. Ex dot message, with the help of that what type of error it is you can show using message box. Okay, now here once this is completed we can show in the label. Label 2, then dot text. Label 2 dot text equal to, we need to get it. Elements in the array list, number of elements. Number of elements in the array list is, put plus here followed by what exactly we have. It is object list, then dot, we have here count. So we have here some count, we can go with the count dot to string we can do here. We can convert into string, then that we can add to the label 2 dot text. So initially you don't have any elements, but after that you are going to get the elements. It's not required here. Closing bracket is not required. Like this we made it. Now let us try to run with this. Initially we need to enter string data. I enter here hello. When I click on the add data to array list, it says number of elements in the array list is 1. Now I take this as date and time. When I click on add data to data list, the string was not recognized as a valid date time. There is an unknown words starting at index 0. Nothing is getting added here. Similarly, I try to do with number. When you click on this, again same message you get. Input string was not in a correct format, it says. I make it true or false. Even now also it says same thing. Okay, now I enter here something like true here. Add data to array list. Now number of elements are how many? 2 elements it's showing here. Now come to date and time. Let me enter date and time in the MMDDYY notation. So I enter today's date. This is 08, followed by the day is, it is 02, then 2016 I enter, add data to array list. Now number of elements are here 3. So next thing is what? I want to go with some number. So here I enter some 45. Now add data to array list. So 4 data is added now. Now whatever data is added, suppose you want to show that in the list box, it can be shown. Let us try to write code for that now. Okay, so let me write here the code for that. Here itself we need to do it. Whenever there is any change in the data, in such cases it should be happening. So here let us use the array list. From the array list let us try to retrieve data one by one, then add to the list box. Here write list box 1 dot, first of all clear. Let us clear everything from this. So list box 1 dot items dot clear. Whatever items are in that we are going to clear first. We remove them, followed by we are going to add the other elements here. We are going to be adding here number of elements. Now take once again the array list. So from array list we retrieve one by one. Right here for loop. Then here int index equal to 0. Now index less than object list dot followed by count. It can count how many elements are in that. Followed by index plus plus. Like this we take, then one by one we retrieve and try to bind to the say list box. Then right here list box 1 dot items dot add. Take like this, followed by here object list, followed by here we need to go with the element there, index then write dot to string. So we convert into string and we bind to the say list box. Like this, we are retrieving one by one element and adding to the list box there. Okay, now once again let me run this. First of all, string data, welcome I put, add to array list. It's coming up here. So once again, hello world I put like this. I put here hello world. So when I click on add data to array list, it's coming up there. Now similarly here, I want to go with the date and time. Then put here 10/5, then 1963 I put like this. Now add data to array list. It is showing like this here 10/5/1963 12 AM. Data is coming up that way. Now similarly I want to go with number. In the case of number, I go with some 400 year, then try to change data. Add data to array list. So 400 is getting added. Now let me add here some false. I'm going to add some false in this. So false will be added. How many elements we have in the array list total? 5 elements are there. We have 5 elements. So once we add, now if I select this, when I click on that delete, what should happen? It should be deleting from the array list. In the reverse process, it should work now. So we need to select an item from this. When we click on that particular thing, it should delete the data from the array list. Okay, now let us write code for that. Here it is. I'm going to write selected index change it. I have written it as selected index change it. Now in such cases, write here int index equal to, let us write this as listbox1 dot items dot selected index. I'll get this as here selected index. It can give some sort of integer here. Okay, now let us go to the array list. So write here object list, then dot here remove. So we have here remove it. Using remove it, you can be removing. So index is going to be index here. Once you remove from that, once again you need to take the data and you need to add to the here to the drop down list. We need to add. So come to this point, then try to add once again to the say list box. In the same manner here, this also you have to change. Number of elements we have to change once again here in this. Okay, then here int you remove. You can remove int, with that you can make it working. So with this what happens, the size can be shrinking. The object list size is going to be shrinking. So based on the index we are going to remove it. Now run this. Enter welcome. Add data. Next write it Java. Next write this as date time. We enter 10/10/2010. I enter like this. Data I am adding here. Now take number. In this place I enter some 2000. It's getting added. Now I take true or false, then put it as true here. Like this I am adding the data. Now how many elements total I have in this? There are actually 5 elements in this. I select this. Okay, what is happening with that? It says now only 4 elements. If I click on this true, now it's saying only 2 elements. If I click on this 2000, it says 2 elements. If I go with the welcome, it says only 1 element. If I click on this, it says 0. So if I click, nothing is happening here. So like this, what I am doing exactly, I am making the array to grow dynamically. At the same time, I am going to make the array shrinking dynamically. So this is basically array list. So array list is not having any type safety. Whatever type of data you want to push into array list, it can be pushed here. So once again, look at the code. Look at this code, and if you have any questions, just ask please in this.